What is up? Welcome back to the Experience Point. Welcome back to a Talk Tuesday. Familiar face, returning guest. There's only one thing that this person can be here to talk about, and it's this gem right here. We are talking Steambot Chronicles with San Martino from Dogwood Gaming again. How have you been, sir?
I've been so good. I'm so glad to be back.
Nice. Yeah, I appreciate you reaching out. You were like, hey, can we do another? I've got some interesting things to talk about for
There's a lot.
There's
a lot to talk about.
A lot to talk about, and I was like, hell yeah. I've been following along in the official unofficial Discord. And also I've beaten it now. So yes. I don't know if anyone's been watching along on my streams. I have played the gem that is often described officially and unofficially by the game case itself as Studio Ghibli with mechs. And I will try to make that the only time I say that phrase this time, because I never stopped saying that while I was playing it and the last time we talked. But
was it accurate?
Very accurate. And depending on your ending, which we talk about.
Oh man,
it's very accurate, and also depending on which Studio Ghibli movie we're referencing. Yeah. So
well, that's important. So what was it? Was it the good guy ending, or were you a villain?
You know, I wish I could say I had a more interesting answer, but I went good. I did the good ending.
Well, that's how you get the real ending. So it's not. It's sad. It's really sad.
It's really
the whole thing.
It's really sad. Really sad. And the deeper you dive into it, the sadder it gets, because there's a lot.
Did you end up finding that newspaper thing I was telling you about the first time?
I did. Yes. I found that, and it was the only. I'm trying not to spoil anything because I do still want people to play it. I realize it's like 20 years old, and we could just be like, "Oh yeah," at the end. But I was glad to not have it spoiled for me. So,
we could dance around it.
We can dance around it. Yeah. I would say like it's almost, it's almost required for you to find that to even have the slightest inkling of what happens at the end of that game, because it takes such a sharp turn, and then it's done and it's over with, and you're like, wow, wait, what? Where did this all come from? And if you do your digging around, you'll find a lot more, and it'll make a lot more sense. But for someone like me who was playing it pretty casually and also for the first time and very unfamiliar with a lot of things, and pretty much my only
to really look for it.
Yeah.
It's not explained anywhere.
No,
like what you're supposed to do. Yeah.
My guidance was thinking back on our conversation when you were on the first time, and had a couple people, shout outs to Wub, shout outs to General Onox, guide me through the game and be like, tell me things without telling me things. You know, I was like, don't necessarily be like, oh, go here and do this and you'll learn whatever. Just if there was something lore-wise that was important that maybe I missed, they could be like, hey, check out, go check out this building before you leave. Just, don't know why.
Yeah.
And so I found that to be helpful. Or in a lot of the kind of fetch quests where I was like, I genuinely have no idea where the hell to go now. So
yeah, because there's just, oh man, all the bus stop stuff. And it's so rough because they also don't tell you what passengers are actually significant for you to take places, because that can also advance different quests and different things based on who you've dropped off and where.
Yeah, that's wild. The more that I learn about this game, even after playing it, I'm like, oh my god, I barely.
There's the whole epilogue.
I know.
There's the whole after the game,
which I haven't even gone back to do that because I didn't realize that there was one.
You haven't finished the epilogue.
No.
Oh yeah, no. It's like that's the finale to the whole game.
Yeah, I know what happens because I've looked it up, but I was like, there's more. Of course, in this game there would be more after the credits. What am I thinking?
Yeah. And it's like everything.
Yeah.
Even like the most inconsequential NPCs, every single character changes, and they literally went and did different dialogue for every single person because they all reflect as if it's been a year.
Right. It's wild. It's insane. Well, not to like just jump right into the ending straight out of the gate. I guess maybe we can start with, if anyone had missed our first conversation, or if somebody's just watching now and is like, "What the hell are you talking about? What is this stupid game? I've never heard of it, therefore it's not good." I don't know. I hope they're not thinking that. What is your, besides Studio Ghibli with mechs, if you could describe this game, what's your like elevator pitch when you're trying to get somebody new to play this game?
I mean, that is the elevator pitch. It's like if a Miyazaki made an RPG, it would look like this.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a far deeper RPG than you see in even modern systems.
Right.
I mean, what Rockstar is still trying to get the stock market working in GTA Online.
Yeah.
And like that's something that's like, sure, it's not running off online data and everything, but that wasn't even something that was even thought of until like GTA 5 came out.
Yeah.
And like Steambot Chronicles is a fully functioning stock market you can manipulate.
Yeah, which I never found myself really interacting with. There's two big things that we talked about, actually three, that I just never even came across. Even when I was like kind of trying to look for the things I didn't want to look up a guide. That was the only thing. I wanted to just kind of experience it.
Yeah.
I'm doing that with another game right now, which maybe we can talk about later, because it has similar lore surrounding it, like meta lore, that reminds me a lot of Steambot Chronicles. But I never did any of the stock market stuff. I never got the railroad opened. And I never
really.
Yeah, I don't know how.
Well, I mean, I guess you have to literally go find the station master, and then he tells you to go talk to somebody else, and then you get loaded up on the train, and you go and fight the train boss, which is a giant train mech.
That would have been so cool.
That's crazy. So you did the entire game without having the trains, I would have lost my mind.
Which is the fast travel system, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
You would have had to go across the desert. Every single time.
I hated it.
Yeah, I'm not surprised at all.
Nobody told me that though. Like I knew there was a train system, but I didn't know how, and I'm surprised with all the.
I mean, this is literally like this is Steambot Chronicles to a T right here. It's like, oh, there's this whole amazing system. Yeah. What? I had no idea that even existed. Because they literally just expect you to just wander around and find things.
Yeah.
I mean, there's still even in the Steambot Chronicles Discord group we're in. I mean, I find things that I've never seen before in my life, and I'm like, I've done everything in this game, and there's still so much.
Yeah, or I remember you telling me about the. Like trying to buy the battleship that's like $1 million or something.
Yep, I still haven't done it.
That's absurd.
And like I own the entire stock market.
Yeah,
I own everything. I did the full like market manipulation, took over everything, and like I think I'm at like 700,000. Like it's a lot of money to get there.
Yeah,
I've also never finished the museum. I don't know if you did anything with the museum and the fossils stuff.
I did a little bit. I found myself being really drawn to the fossil aspect. I love just going and like smashing rocks,
get lost in it,
loading up the thing, and just like trucking back to the place and selling them. It's almost like I mean, I love doing that in Animal Crossing too. You know, the museum and the fossils and stuff. I did that quite a bit. The other thing that I did not really do, because I found him once and I couldn't do anything no matter how many times I talked to him, and then never saw him again, was Pablo, the artist guy.
Oh,
I never did any of his quests.
When I mentioned that like it's so difficult to know what bus people are important, he is the definition of that. Because the whole way Pablo works is that you find him in a city, you buy all of his paintings, and then after like a day, he spawns at a bus station outside of that town, and then you have to transport him to the next place. So you literally, by bus, take him from Nefroburg all the way across the desert, all the way to Happy Garland. You go to New but nothing will advance if you're not personally taking Pablo in the bus like to these locations with you.
That's wild. Yeah, I found him and I talked to him and I was like, oh, that's him. That's got to be Pablo. I'm gonna start this quest. Cool. And I don't remember because this was a while ago since I started, because it was right when I started playing. I think I got it in the first in the first town.
because you can run into him right when you get to Nephroburg the
Yeah,
first time.
and he says some throwaway dialogue, and I was like, oh, okay, well, maybe I'll find him again, and that'll start the quest. And then I never saw him again.
I would bet you that if you go there in the epilogue, he's standing right there where you last saw him. Yeah, because he's just selling paintings from there. That's funny. So funny. Yeah, because I mean that's such an important part for being able to have like a ridiculous amount of money, because Pablo's paintings fluctuate kind of like the stock market does.
Right.
And you were able to like buy them for pennies, sell them for tens of thousands of dollars, buy them back for pennies again, sell them again for tens of thousands of dollars. Yeah.
Terrible.
And like I don't know, there were a lot of things that I just wish they had done more with, like flight. Like that is an enormous mechanic that like I'm sure took them a lot to do, and you use it for that one part of the game.
Right.
That's it.
1.5 really. Like
you can go back and you can just fly around that one place, but there's nothing else to do. And it's also crazy because if you do the villain ending, you never get those parts. You never experience that part of the game.
Yeah, I guess you wouldn't, huh?
Yeah,
because you don't have to go after the thing,
the blimp. Yeah, you know. Yeah. So it's really crazy.
So
sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I'll go through like highlights and see, because there are, I know for a fact there are some things that I did in my playthrough, and again without spoiling too much, that are not the typical playthrough. I mean, I've already said I missed a lot of the big important things, like the train.
I cannot get over you taking the desert. Your playthrough must have been like an additional 10 hours.
It was very long, and I was starting to feel a bit of the slog, and I was like, okay.
Did you have the like leg part at least that makes you go faster in the sand?
I had the I had spider legs for a while.
Yep. Yeah.
I had I think centaur legs, probably the longest.
That's what I end up using for most of the game.
Yeah. And I had a very particular chassis piece or torso piece, because I beat the first boss fight, the one that you're supposed to lose, with
which one?
With the elephants.
Oh yeah. It's funny because if you lose that, you lose all. You don't get the centaur legs. You can't get them the entire playthrough.
Oh wow!
If you lose that fight, and they're like the best legs in the entire game.
Yeah, I used them I used those and the elephant tusk like for most of the game.
Same.
And everybody was freaking out in the chat when I did it. They're like, most people do not beat that fight." And I was like, "Oh,
it's really hard. It's really really hard." And
so then I kind of became the boss of the elephants for a while.
Yeah.
What's up, Parallax?
Did you beat
Steambot? He always calls it Steambot. It's Steambot.
It's literally whenever I look up anything for Steambot Chronicles, it will auto correct it to Steambot every single time.
Steambot Willie.
Did you beat Elder the first in the arena?
No, I never even encountered him in the arena.
Who'd you lose to?
That's a great question. I don't remember. I should have gone back and rewatched some of my playthrough, because I was realizing
Jimmy, Fennel, Schneider.
Jimmy. I think I beat Fennel too, so maybe Schneider.
Schneider's really hard. I mean, you're really not supposed to win that.
Yeah.
I don't think I was able to consistently beat Elder until like I want to say fairly recently. Like it's a pain to do it.
Yeah, I kicked Jimmy's ass, like absolutely handed it to him, which him being the kind of jokey character. And then I think Fennel was pretty close, and then I think Schneider just absolutely wiped the floor with me. Like I remember him being really fast and me not being able to like catch him.
Did you throw the fight in with the mob?
No. No, I pissed off the mob. I made an enemy of the mob. I was like, maybe this is going to end poorly for me.
My absolute favorite is you can go and you can bet on yourself.
Nice.
And then or like you can go and you can bet on Jimmy, and then you can throw the fight.
Yeah.
And then you'll get this massive payout. You can go to the police station and go and tell them it was him.
Wait, really?
And then he puts you up to it. Yeah, and then he gets thrown in prison. And then he spends the rest of the game in prison. You just make all this money.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I love little stuff like that. Like, we were talking about, like how I missed the whole railroad thing. There's a lot of, I'm trying not to sound really boomery when I say this, but like I feel like they don't make games like this anymore. And I don't just mean I mean games that you can really get, it's like single player games that you can really, really get lost in, and that have hidden, not just mechanics, but like, I feel like everything's so upfront in gaming now. And this was, PS2, so this was just starting to be like the age of the internet, so like information was spreading around. But I imagine, when you played this as a kid, it was probably like, oh my god, I heard that you can go here and do this whole side quest. I
have a tips and tricks magazine.
Yes.
With and even it's not even complete.
Yeah.
It was just like their best ability to go through it, but there's so many things that I've found that aren't even in there.
There's so much, and I love that. And at first it really overwhelmed me because I was like, how am I going to even scratch the surface of all of these things? And I was like, you know what? It's okay if I don't, especially on a first playthrough. Like I don't want to, I get overwhelmed. Like, so I hinted at this earlier. I guess I can talk about this now. Have you ever heard of a series called Boku no Natsuyasumi?
No, I haven't.
Okay, that's fine. That's most people don't. Most people haven't. It's called, that translates to My Summer Vacation, and basically it started on the PS1, but I think there's one on PS1, PS2, PS3, and PSP, and they just did like a spiritual successor on the Switch. But basically, you're just this little kid, and you're a little Japanese kid from Tokyo, and he's going to his family's his like aunt and uncle's like house in the middle of nowhere, like rural mountainside, or in the case of the one that I'm playing, like seaside Japan, tiny towns, because your mom's having a baby. And the goal of the game is just be a kid having a summer vacation. So
that's pretty great.
There's so much that's like open world, like open ended, like it's I'm playing it actually. So friend of the show, Scott, Josh, who's normally my co-host here on Talk Tuesdays, had this idea of we should play this game at the same time, and every day in August, because it takes place in the month of August, like 1975 or something. Every day you play one of the in-game days, which is like a half an hour.
That's fun.
Yeah, so it's just like a little snippet of the game, and then we're like recording our thoughts, and then we're gonna all talk about it at the end. But
that sounds pretty great.
Yeah, so it's like your whole goal is like, I guess I'll get up and maybe I'll go catch some bugs and make them wrestle each other. There's a very like deep bug wrestling mini game system that could be its own like game in and of itself, which these are the things that remind me of Steambot Chronicles, where it's like, oh, this literally could be, it has a more robust stock market system than some stock market simulators that we've seen. Or you can like just go fishing, or like there's a whole kite flying game where you like, depending on how you do, you get different kites, and then, or like if you lose in a bug fight, then you can trade that bug for a better bug, and then but it doesn't tell you all of it up front. And it was, Steambot Chronicles reminds me of this. There's not, and I would have hated this, there's not like tutorials for everything. Like most games now, I feel like it would just be like, bring, did you know if you go to this place you can do this whole mini game and you can da-da-da-da. And it's like, it's there if you find it, if you want to seek it out. And that's the beauty of it. And I kind of wish there were more games like that.
It always amazed me at just that everything seemed to really matter. And it was like, and you wouldn't realize what was important. Like do you remember the dinner with Savory?
Yeah.
That happens like halfway through the game. All of those questions lead to different answers. Every single one of them goes to like these wide different branching paths that like lead to like, and she can reveal a lot of like what's going on early based on those choices.
Yeah.
My absolute favorite is you can just go through and just badmouth everybody.
I know. Or just be like, I don't really think about them. Like
Yeah.
he seems kind of boring. I don't really know.
Yep. I
Yeah.
forget what it was for Savory, but you can literally tell her that you think she's like stuck up to her face. It's just great.
I forget what I told her. Like I was kind of I was jokingly shipping Vanilla with Connie's mom the whole time.
Oh, great. Yeah.
Because I was like, I forget. Oh, because I knelt and I kissed her hand when I met her, and I was
Oh,
like,
yes, because that's one of the options.
yeah, I was like, he's really going
Maybe do
for
that
it.
to multiple people. You got the neighbor.
I know. So, but I only. What's that?
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I only did that to her. So because it gives you the option to do that to a bunch of people, and then I was like, oh man, Vanilla's coming after Connie's mom. It's like MILF Hunter on the prowl while he's like flirting with her daughter. Like it's so funny.
It was always, and I always thought it was so strange because you have to carry her on a bed on the back of the Trotmobile.
Yeah.
And I just feel like there has to be better ways.
I know.
To transport somebody.
You were kind of fading into
out of the camera.
the ether.
Oh, sorry. Let's see if I can fix it.
Uh,
if I close. Oh. It's always something. You know, when I do college lectures, it's always fun when this happens, and then I can't do anything about it.
Yeah. You were telling me about that off stream. How's that going? Is that something new?
I'm trying to think when we spoke last, because I've been doing it for a year now. I started last fall.
So it was. I remember because MagFest had just happened, and it reminded me of that amazing panel you did for Steambot Chronicles, and I was like, oh man, I should reach out to him and see if I should have him on. So it was probably like January. It was this year.
Yeah. So, okay. Yeah. So this I had been doing it for one semester.
Okay.
It really was. It was a lot because I hadn't been told what to do or how to do it.
Yeah.
They just kind of said, "Here's a bunch of classes. Go ahead." But I gotta tell you, it's been really great because all of the students who I end up working with really, really want to make video games.
Yeah.
Like they have so much passion, they want to do it, and like if they get the opportunities, they thrive. So
Yeah.
it's like we've been my creative director and I teach at the same school.
Oh, cool.
And we started in January. We said, well, why don't we make a game and then do our development cycles to go along with the school semesters. So we've been doing that, and so all the students we work with, we like share what we're doing, and then they help contribute what we're doing. This semester, we're actually going to see about having them learn animation and texturing by doing stuff with the character models. It's a social casino game called Always Bet on Quack.
Nice. Oh yeah, right. I think we were talking about that, or maybe it was in the Discord. Always bet on Quack.
I think I do like for concept art, I do sketches of ducks as like different video game characters, and I did a bunch of Steambot Chronicles ones.
Oh, I love that.
So I think that's what it was.
Yeah. Parallax in the chat said Connie's mom has got it going on, and she sure does.
If I turn off my camera, will that break your stream? Because I think that might fix the blurriness.
No, you can try turning it off and on again.
Yeah, give me once.
There's our chat.
Yep, there we go.
Oh, sick. Well, I just have to make you full screen again. A little peek behind the scenes of us talking about all of our trade secrets.
Getting started.
No, it's literally give me a call.
Did you do all the stuff to rebuild the town where Connie's mom is staying?
No, I don't know if I did any of it.
There's because you fight Dudley, and Dudley like crashes on that wooden structure, and it releases the hot springs waters.
Oh no.
You can talk to the guy there, and he asks for building supplies, and you can help build the hot spring.
Oh,
and
that's cool.
Also there's a mining foreman who, if you talk to at the top by the mine, he wants a job like ad placement put in the newspaper for workers, and literally like there's like 5 different subplots that all lead to people like coming and joining and living there, so the whole town ends up coming back to life.
That's nuts. That's so cool. It's such a rich world. Like, it's such a, it feels,
it doesn't
so
tell you
real.
anything. So it's so easy to miss literally everything.
Yeah, so let's see. I did the elephants. I guess became the head of the killer elephants. I wish I could remember more things that happened. Like, what are some
There's
of the...
so many big ones. What'd you think of the battleship fight in the desert?
With like the oil war or whatever.
Yeah,
that was
the
sick.
oil war.
Yeah, that was awesome. I wish it lasted longer.
Yeah, I know, and again, like, I wish they did more with it, because I'm like, this is wild. Like, this is such an amazing concept.
It's over so fast.
Like, yeah, exactly. And I'm also sad because my favorite instrument to play in that game is the violin, and you don't get the violin until that mission, which is like pretty far in the game.
That's another thing. I feel like I didn't get many of the instruments. Obviously you start with the harmonica. I think I got guitar and the oh my god, the polka thing. What is that? Accordion.
The accordion, yeah.
I just
there's like, if you play at the bars, you get the piano sheets. If you play at the church, you get the pipe organ.
Nice.
There's a whole thing for you discovering the electric guitar.
Right, with Fennel, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's also wild because you have to do that to get one of the parts to make. I don't even remember what it is. It's been so long. There's like a really powerful Trotmobile weapon that you can only make with a part from the electric guitar mission.
Nice. Speaking of weapons, so like we kind of talked about the build that I went with as far as body. So like big ass elephant tusks, centaur legs, sometimes spider legs, and then the weapons that I liked the most were, I went with the spiked chain ball on the left arm and the trident on the right.
Yep. That's the one. That's the one I always go with.
Oh, really?
It's so good. Yeah, it's so good. And like, there's, I don't know, there are like other things that I think are like interesting alternatives. Like, you can get the long range cannon, which is really good. But nice. I mean, do you want to grind out arena missions for like 2 months in game?
Oh my god, that's
that's what you'd have to do.
Yeah.
And then actually, I didn't even think about this because you haven't played the epilogue.
Right.
Okay, how do I word this without explaining what happens? Okay, so in the epilogue, you end up finding under one of the buildings in Eurydica, there's a Trotmobile, and you can take the parts off of it. And that's how you get the best weapon in the game, which is the giant sword, Excalibur.
Oh, sick. Okay.
And that's what I usually use, that and then the Gatling gun. But the Gatling gun is, you have to get every single gem in the game, and then you have to go give it to the Desert Hornet leader.
Bruh.
And then it's horrible. It's absolutely. I think I've done it once.
Yeah.
Because you only get the gems in the dungeons, and it's totally random.
Yeah.
You get them.
Yeah.
So,
I went into the first dungeon, or the first one that I found anyway, and I was like, oh, this is totally just a PS2 like dungeon-y dungeon. And I was like, all right, chat, I need to know, do I need to do this? And they were like, no, you do not. And I was like, all right, see ya. Like, I was already out. I just wanted to focus on the story and things that I would just naturally come across. But if it was like, hey, this is going to be another like 5 hours added to your playtime, that's like,
that seems pretty generous. I think it would be made. Well, I guess that's a conservative number. I spend so long in those stupid dungeons. Oh my God. It's awful. Because like, if you want to finish the museum, all the museum pieces come from those dungeons, and there's 3 of them.
I think in the same, like, on the same wavelength as the like, oh, they don't make games like this anymore. I wonder if it's just like, were they making less games back then, or is it just that we're old now and we don't have the time to dive into a game like that anymore? You know, like, I think of games where I put hundreds and hundreds of hours into, like my equivalent of this that I told you about, Phantom Dust. I put countless hours into that game. And I would never do that again, I think, with anything. Even if a game came out today that I liked just as much, I don't think I could. Like, just with my life, like work and, spending time with my girlfriend. Like, any semblance of anything outside of work is, like, such a scarce commodity that it's...
Oh, yeah.
Even if I would love it. And I don't know if that's just the way that we are now, being adults or living in late stage capitalism and this hellscape that we're in. Like, maybe we just, I don't know, maybe it is as simple as we just don't have the time that we did when we were kids. I don't know. I just feel like,
I mean, that's what I felt. I felt that way with Oblivion. I mean, when Oblivion came out and I was a kid, I mean, I remember I had a big inflatable South Park chair, and I'd sit down in front of the TV and sit for hours and hours and hours playing Oblivion.
Yeah.
And like, I was sad because the remaster came out, and I'm like, oh, I'm not going to really get to play through this, but I literally just sat on the couch next to my fiance and just played it, and it was like, I ended up spending like 150 hours, but instead of me putting 150 hours in like 2 weeks, it was like over a couple months.
Yeah.
And like, I think it's hard for me to find a game that I feel is worth putting that much time into it. And especially with like Steambot Chronicles, there's just so much in it that I don't feel like anybody really is going to try anymore. The whole instrument thing, who's going to ever do that? Like, the whole there's the whole rebuilding the movie theater. That's super niche.
Yeah, I did some of that.
The whole museum concept is like, it's as nightmarish as the whole thing was. Like, it was very unique, and it was very cool that, like, for the big fossils, you had to go and figure out how they were actually put together for the displays.
Yeah.
And it all just feels like, I mean, with the team that made Steambot Chronicles, it was before Atlas was very big. They hadn't made Persona 3 yet. And I think that then they could take the risks and just do whatever, because they hadn't found a formula that worked yet. So they can keep trying things. And I mean, you can even see with the stuff that's in Steambot Chronicles, there are very clearly things that they wanted to do more with that they just ran out of time.
Yeah, I'm looking at the back of the box, and it says, which it's so cool to be able to say that. Shout-outs again, angry shout-outs to the love of my life, Belisa, who, if you've watched our streams before, you've seen her many a time. She bought me a physical copy of this game and spent way too much money on it. But yeah, it's 2006, it says. Is that the year it came out?
Yeah.
It says copyright.
It's actually,
It says 2004 and then 2006, so I don't know if it was...
It's always funny because this is the Tips and Tricks magazine that I used for it.
I missed that magazine.
It's just funny because you can see like what was coming out, what was going to be a big thing. Viva Pinata was like in here as coming soon. But
those
also
two eras feel so separate though. Like Viva Pinata to like Persona 3 and Steambot Chronicles, like what?
I think that this is the same. There's still San Andreas was still relevant.
Wow.
There's a whole page about San Andreas myths and like
that was like what, 2004?
Yeah, 2004, 2005. It was just such a weird era because everybody was switching over to the 360 and the PlayStation, but it wasn't there yet.
360 came out in like 2007, I think, or 6?
Yeah, it was 7 or 8. I think. Oh my
god!
Because that also has a Halo like section, and it's all about Halo 2. So Halo 3 hadn't come out yet.
Right, because that was 2007. Holy crap!
Yeah.
I didn't realize how close they were. They're so distinctive in my mind.
Because when I very much remember, and it's funny because have you played Yakuza?
No, it's so funny you say that because one of the other few experience shares that I've done is I had a guest on, shout out to Risaru. She came on and she loves Yakuza. She's like speedruns Yakuza.
It's incredible.
And I'm so into it. And I'm admittedly a huge Sega fan, and I still have not played Yakuza or Shenmue. So I want to play Shenmue first because it's kind of Yakuza's kind of a spiritual successor.
Yeah. I discovered Yakuza 1 the same time I discovered Steambot Chronicles, because I think there's an ad in this magazine about Yakuza, and it's funny because they're so different but they're so similar. Like, really? I can 100% understand why I was completely enamored by both of them, and I was like, this is exactly what I want. Yeah, because they're just both very open, free-form games. And, I mean, even with Yakuza, they don't hold your hand. There's so many things you can just miss if you don't, go looking for them.
Whole mini-games, whole, like, just ridiculous...
All the sub-stories. Yeah. Like, there's so much.
That's... Oh, what a great connection, actually. Of course, yeah. Yeah, I'm dying to go. I have the remaster of Shenmue 1 and 2 on
that's exciting.
The PS4, so I'm excited to play that for the first time. I was supposed to start playing that right after I beat this, but I got somebody. I did a poll on Instagram, and people voted for Doom 2016, so I'm almost done that.
Also a good one.
I had never played that. So, maybe we can transition now to...
I was going to say, talk about where we are now.
Yes. So, last time you were here, it's so funny, I feel like I'm not trying to, say I had parts to do with this, but I feel like I've been here for, these tentpole moments of you trying to get this to come back, because even when I was just a lowly peon at your at your panel, you were like, yeah, you had just made a connection with somebody at IREM, or was that it?
So we had met their parent company. In the US, and so I had been able to talk to somebody at their California office, because I just kept calling all of their corporate numbers until somebody answered me, and they were like, I'll try and find a contact for you. They said, we don't have any English contact for this studio at all. And so they gave me the contact sheet for IREM in Japan. I was like, oh, I guess they do still exist. Mm-hmm. And it's interesting because if you go on their website and everything, it lists all the games they've made, and it's a lot of pachinko games. Yeah. That's pretty much what they do now.
They've gone the way of Konami.
Yes, but at the same time, they do list Steambot Chronicles in their catalog, which is interesting because they don't have things like Disaster Report, which was also done around the same time by the same people.
Do they have Ninja Baseball Batman?
If only. I don't remember that, because they split a bunch of their random IPs. So it's literally their library is all pachinko games and then Steambot Chronicles.
That's wild.
But it's all Japanese, and so I tried to email them in Japanese. That I didn't get a response. They had a fax number, which turns out the Japanese use fax machines. Yeah. Still, I didn't realize that was still big in Japanese business culture. Yeah, so I went to the FedEx office, and I was like, I need to fax this to Japan. I don't know. Can you schedule this to not arrive at 3:00 in the morning? And they're like, no,
it's a fax.
We just send it when we send it. So I faxed them, and then I never heard anything. And then finally I went on Fiverr, and we just contracted somebody in Japan to call them, call their number and ask.
And this was about the time that we talked on here for the first time.
Yep. Yeah.
So this is stage 2. And then you had left being like, I'm about to start the next phase. So in the 7 months since we talked, a lot has gone down.
And it's funny because almost all of it has been this month.
Yeah.
Or the last 2 weeks.
Oh,
it had been complete stop from when we spoke.
I had to mute the Discord notifications for a little while because they kept blowing up while I was at work, and I'm like, what is going on? But there was just so much happening.
Because for so long it was so we had got in touch with somebody at IREM, and they had written back to me, and they said, we're interested in licensing the IP for Steambot Chronicles. We're like, let us know what your terms are. And at that point, I said to everybody who I'm working with, like, we need to find somebody that speaks Japanese, understands Japanese business culture,
Yeah.
and likes video games. Because,
And
like, at
copyright
this
law
point,
and stuff like that.
well, that's a whole other thing. Is it's like we got to figure out what to do with Japanese copyright law, and so that ended up being a literal 5 to 6 month long process.
Yeah.
We interviewed so many people. I asked so many places, hey, can you help us? My studio has a grant from the state of Maryland, and Maryland has a direct office in Japan.
Right.
Like, they do direct work with the embassy, and they're like, oh, we can help with like intro stuff and like picking you up at the airport, but we can't like have anybody help represent you.
Huh.
So like this whole time we weren't able to get anywhere. I was asking so many people, I couldn't find anything, and it got to a point where like I was like, well, we need to say something to these people because it's been months. And when I had been talking to other colleagues about this, they were like, you shouldn't, like, don't put it anywhere public because somebody might just come and grab it.
Right.
And I got to be honest with you, that was my fear. I was very much worried about that.
Yeah.
And it's not a real fear. Like, these companies that have the ability to do that and could just buy up an IP and do whatever, they're looking for the return. They're
Sure.
not going to do it if it's not going to be a massive return on their point.
Yeah.
I'm sure that, like, the powers that be, the Sony's, Atlas, I mean, Atlas is huge now. Like, I'm sure they all know about it, but to them, what is it to them? Like, I mean, sure, it could be huge or it could be a flop. It's an untested IP that nobody really knows anything about.
Yeah, and with the state, that's not even bringing in the state of gaming right now, where even AAA successful games are causing, like, I read something with, like, Square Enix, like, after releasing Final Fantasy 16 and Final Fantasy 7 Remake Part 2, both very expensive games, both that sold really well and did really well.
Very successful.
They're like, we're hurting for money right now. And I'm like, what? Like,
it's not enough. Yeah.
It's like not sustainable. So that's terrifying.
It really isn't.
It's terrifying to think about bringing back like an IP like this, which, for those who don't know, that's what you're trying to do. That's what Sam and Dogwood Gaming is trying to revive this incredible game with their studio, you know, because they were open to talks about, you know, at least licensing the IP. So where does that, you know, the state of gaming right now, like, are you afraid they might be like, yeah, we'll do it, but only if it's a, you know, games as a service, only if it's a gas game, only if there's paid microtransactions and people can play online and buy our emotes and skins and stuff, like.
So the nice thing is that I don't, knock on wood, I don't think anybody else is looking at this game. Like, because like Sony, I don't know how much this game was going to be licensed for. Right. I have no idea what the number they were looking for.
Yeah. But
like, serious conversations were had for under $50,000. Okay, like, this is, if somebody wanted to do it, it's there.
Yeah.
But Irem doesn't seem super open unless they like I don't know. They seem to actually care about their IP and like the games they work with. Like, they want good things to happen with them. And I don't want to jump ahead because this all ties into
no.
But it ended up being where I was like, screw it, I'm just going to ask on Reddit.
Yeah.
I'm just going to be like, because I've asked everybody at this point. I've asked all these lawyers. I've spoken to all these people in Japan, and nobody can help me.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just going to ask on Reddit.
And that kind of blew up.
It was so funny. I made the news.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't even make the news for the games I make. Like, and no, but that did it.
I made the news in Japan for asking about the game that I want to make. Like, what?
Yeah.
That was nuts.
I got the badge on Reddit for having a top 5% post. Like, it really blew up. Yeah, and it was funny because I got ratioed to hell.
I saw. I felt really bad, actually. I was like, oh my god, they're being they're being Reddit.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, it's one of those things that, like, you gotta take it with a grain of salt. I've been doing this long enough that, like, I I get the internet. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah.
I understand what it's gonna be.
Give somebody a keyboard and take away their face, and they're you're lucky. You're lucky to get out with what you did without minimal slurs.
And honestly, and it's still like it ended up being, it didn't screw over my Reddit account, thankfully.
Yeah,
so
that's
like
good.
it all worked out. But it was just funny because like the like comments were like, oh, why are you even bothering? Like, it's going to be at least $100,000. And I'm like, I don't know where they got this number from, because it's not like, I mean, it ranges. It truly, like, it could be anything.
Yeah.
And that guy said 100,000, and that's just what Reddit stuck with. They were like, oh yeah, you're wasting, like, if you don't even have $100,000, why are you wasting your time? Why are you wasting your time? But there were a lot of really good people in there. There was a guy in there who was like, hey, these are pretty reasonable deal terms for an IP of this age and its popularity. Literally, that's what we use as the basis for our offer. Like, yeah. And that was nowhere near this $100,000 that this guy pulled out of his ass. But
right, and it's also the yen right now is super weak against the dollar. So if they give you like one of their standard numbers, it might end up being better.
Even less
than even less than you'd be even thinking. And I saw somebody else was like, hey, I live in Japan, I work in this industry, like, do you need help? Like, has anything come from that guy?
We'll get to him in
a second. Sorry, yeah. No, go in chronological order. I'm just excited.
But then it also was like, one of the big comments was like, why bother remaking this game? Like, Stardew, like, it was like Stardew Valley still was made and Harvest Moon exists, and I'm like, well, Harvest Moon isn't dead. Like, you couldn't acquire the rights to Harvest Moon because they're still making Harvest Moon games. They're not making Steambot Chronicles games anymore.
Yeah,
but it ended up being that it was to a company that holds an IP for something that is pretty much dormant. The value is, what can it make? Like, there's no, like, whatever money they would get up front, and I'm not saying this to be like, oh, you know, it's not worth anything. It is worth something. But, like, in terms of, like, doing these kind of deals, the value is somebody is going to make something really good with this IP. We're going to make money from that, and now still holding the IP, we can make more off of it. So that guy who reached out on Reddit used to work for the creator of Steambot Chronicles.
So this is okay. He's the connection to what you were telling me about off stream. Okay.
Yeah. So so Steambot Chronicles, they were working on the sequel. The Fukushima disaster happened with the tsunami, destroyed the studio, wiped out everything. Then Irem restructured and became what they are today. The a lot of the game developers, including the guy who created the series, Kazuma Kujo, he went and founded a company called Granzella. And Granzella makes the new disaster reports and a bunch of different games. Like, they got a bunch of the IPs that were done by Irem. So this guy who I met, he worked for Granzella from I think it was 3 years, and he like led internal discussions to try and reboot Steambot Chronicles.
Oh, okay.
And it was this whole thing where he's like, I had multiple conversations with Kazuma Kujo about it, but the response was that we'd like to do it, we just don't have the resources.
Yeah.
Which is understandable. Like, this game is a massive, like, it would be a pretty massive undertaking to do it.
Yeah.
But
are you talking about to do a sequel, or because you were interested in doing a remake first, right? Or remaster?
Yeah, I think the real value is if you can remaster it, and like I wouldn't change anything. I think you can make it run better and look a bit crisper.
Yeah, for sure.
But I think that if you do that and have a PC release and a modern console release and actually market it to people so they know it exists, it'll do really well. And then if it does really well, then they can talk about doing sequels and doing more. And so that was clearly something they've wanted to do and has been the conversation. But I from my conversations with the guy who worked at Granzella, it didn't seem to go anywhere, unfortunately. and I'm trying to pull up my emails with him.
That's frustrating. That's disheartening too. After
yeah,
all
and like
this,
I
to
felt
just be like dead end, dead end, dead end.
well. So I should actually say he responded to me after I had already reached out to Irem. I totally forgot to mention this. This is very important to the story. So from the conversations that I had with some of the people on Reddit, we sent an offer over to Irem for
Right.
Steambot Chronicles, and the response I got was that they appreciated the offer and they considered it, but they are reevaluating their games division and will not be able to have an answer for me in at least a year.
Okay. Yeah.
That broke my heart.
Right.
I was devastated. I was like, all that, and we took too long. And that, and then literally the day after that happened was when he reached out to me, this guy who worked for Granzella.
Yeah.
And
do you think it's that you took too long, or was that I wouldn't put that on you.
it's really hard to know.
Yeah.
I don't know what would have happened if we had made the offer a week after I had that first email. And because they clearly were interested, they asked for an offer. So I didn't know what had happened. And my first fear was that, oh no, they think it's worth a whole bunch of money. They're in talks to have somebody else do it.
I was thinking that too. They're like, oh, there's interest now. Maybe we just make it ourselves.
I don't think that's what it was.
Okay.
And it was when I got it, like my mistake was that when I first got the email, I was so excited to get it, I ran it through Google Translate.
Yeah.
And then I later had it properly translated, and it was a totally different email.
Yeah. Google Translate is one of the worst.
Yeah, it cannot do context at all, and the email read totally differently.
Yeah.
And not that I don't think that they're looking at rebooting Steambot Chronicles. I think they're trying to figure out if they're going to do anything with their games at all.
At all.
Because they have a couple IPs.
Yeah.
And so then I started talking to this guy from Granzella, and the story is that Granzella gets their IPs from Irem. They work very closely with Irem.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, it's the kind of thing where if Kazuma Kujo said, I want to do Steambot Chronicles, they probably would.
Yeah.
And because they have that level of closeness. But, again, from it being explained to me is that they just never had the resources. So I talked to him and I was like, well, like, the whole reason that this is even possible is because I have a studio that wants to do it.
Yeah.
I can do it, and I believe that there's enough support in different gaming influencers that we could probably crowdfund whatever we needed.
Yeah.
I think I mentioned last time there's the YouTuber Mother's Basement, has like something like a million subscribers, and he's got Steambot Chronicles in the background of his shots every single time. So it's like there's a lot of big interest in it, and so his name's Yutaka, and so Yutaka said he was going to reach out to Kazuma Kujo and tell him that, hey, I met this Western company that wants to help make it. Is this something we can do? So that's where I am. I'm waiting for the introduction to the guy who created Steambot Chronicles,
which in and of itself is so cool,
absolutely incredible. I can't believe we're here. Like it's truly wild.
That's awesome, man. Even if nothing comes from this is such a cool experience.
I'm over the moon.
Yeah.
Like I mean, I really can't believe that I've gotten to get this far, and it's really and truly, it's like I said, I got ratioed to hell in that Reddit post, but like I don't give up on these things because like I got somewhere, and at this point I'm just waiting to hear what they say. I don't know, but it definitely does seem like it's just that they don't have the resources to do it. I mean, I'm sure like they're working on other games that I'm sure are from series that are actively making them money. like taking resources to do Steambot Chronicles is going to be a risk. But I have a full development studio. I want to do it. It's just a matter of if we can get there. But it's also funny because like I think I had mentioned that he works for Kojima now.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
so
like
funny.
It was so wild to me because in this email he's like, "Oh, I felt so bad when I left Granzella and like I didn't know I felt like I failed." And then it's like, "You work for Konami." I'm
Bro.
like, what? Like, or you work for Kojima. I'm like,
Pro,
what do you
yeah.
mean? Like you're doing
That's
great.
the guy. That's the guy. Like,
and it was so funny because like I asked him what he worked on for Death Stranding, and one of the things was he said that he programmed special events. And I was like, did you do the birthday cutscene? You know, the thing where, like, if it's your birthday in Death Stranding, there's, like, a whole cutscene in-game for it?
no, I didn't know that.
It's wild. It's this whole thing. I was like,
That's
was
so
that
funny.
you? Because that's incredible. But yeah, I feel very optimistic for it. It's in a way better shape than it was even a month ago.
Yeah.
And I mean, the fact that, like, I'm so glad there was a Japanese article about it. Like, people talked about it.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's really what I'm hoping is that if I can just keep talking about it, it will happen.
Right. And I wonder how much they look at, there's a video essay about Steambot Chronicles that has like millions and millions of views. Like, I wonder how much they look at stuff like that. Or like you said, that the guy who has Steambot Chronicles on his shelf in his background, he's got like 1 million subscribers. Like, that's got to mean something. I wonder if there's like a pitch deck you could put together where it's like, look, here's all the reasons why this could make you a bunch of money.
That's exactly what we're doing.
Hell yeah. Okay.
Exactly. Yeah. And but you're right. And it's that I don't think that the idea of a Western audience was really, I mean, it truly was such a niche thing here in the United States. It has it apparently has a much bigger following in Japan. There's actually like a fan base for it in Japan.
Wow.
But in the West, just nobody bought it. So, the thought of like, well, who really cares? Well, there's a lot of people that ended up like working in the games industry or games adjacent that like think it's the greatest thing ever made.
Yeah. And this was that time period where, like, this was only a couple years after like the Pokemon anime came out and they were calling rice balls jelly donuts, for God's sakes. Like, no wonder it didn't do well over here. Now, now it would absolutely crush. Especially with like
it's the kind of
the cozy wave that we're on right now, like, because this game is like as cozy as you want it to be. You could literally not do the main story and just go around and collect fossils and just play like Animal Crossing in your mech, like
build your house, decorate everything.
Yeah,
like, it's there's so much.
Yeah, well, I'm pulling for you. I don't know. Like I was saying in the
I'm hopeful
Discord, like, whatever I can do, whatever you need me to. If you want me to do some design work for this, or come up with a updated logo or something,
that'd be awesome.
Whatever I can do to be part of this. But this feels like a really cool moment in history, even just from, like I said, like this, my own personal journey of this game. Like starting with that panel at MagFest 24 or 23?
Yeah, 24, 20. I think it was 24.
Yeah.
No, it was 23.
It would have had
3. It was, yeah. It was last year.
Yes. Yeah.
Or last year is in the previous MagFest, not last MagFest, the MagFest before.
Right. Yeah. To like following along tangentially, like, getting to talk to you, do the experience share the first time, getting me into it, then like, obviously I don't have a huge following, but like people who watched on my Twitch me playing it for the first time were like, oh my god, this game looks awesome, like I want to play it now. And just like slowly building up that, like, it's like me when I talk about Phantom Dust, like I did an episode about that, and it's like I will never shut up about this game. So, and I feel like Steambot Chronicles is also on my, like, my 3 floating games of like, this game is a masterpiece that no one fucking knows about is Steambot Chronicles, Phantom Dust, and now Boku no Natsuyasumi. All 3 of those were too Japanese for their own good, for lack of a better phrase.
It's really funny because
you sold me on them.
The same problem.
Yeah, totally. But now they're huge. I remember when those
and
first games came
out.
And
they like tried to like remove a lot of the Japanese-ness of it, and people didn't like that.
Right.
People liked how weird it was.
I know, and this could only be benefited from where we are now, like as a society. And yeah, Parallax in chat is saying you sold me on them. So there's one more. This one more has joined the fray.
And there we go. Well, I mean, and this is the big thing for it, is that like whatever happens, like just don't be quiet about it.
Yeah.
Because like it will, like something is going to happen from this. I mean, I can't imagine that we're just going to be like, no, I don't want to do it. Like if the reason is that you don't have the resources, we're working on that. But Blake, please, I'm always happy to talk about it. I'll give you updates whenever something big happens.
Yeah, for sure.
And if it actually moves forward, then we can do a lot together.
Yeah, totally. Can't wait to legally obtain a copy of the game, says Parallax.
I say good luck trying to play it without a PS2 controller. It's so funny because it's just like we had talked about it in that Discord. I was like, how would you play Steambot Chronicles on a PC? I don't know. I really have no idea how you would do that because the analog sticks were so crucial.
Yeah. I would. So have you ever played Virtual On?
No, I haven't.
Okay, so it's like a here he brings up Sega again. It was a Sega robot fighting game that piloted kind of like the tank controls of Steambot Chronicles, but it's like Gundams instead of like the steam mechs. So it's super fast and super furious, and you're just like just like moving the sticks all in different directions. And so like that something like that, a peripheral like that would work so well for it, or like a flight stick or something.
Yeah,
or like
you need the full what was the game?
Steel Battalion.
Full, with the giant mech setup. Yeah. You need that.
It had the pedals, like you actually had to like use your feet too and flip all these switches and buttons and stuff. And I think if this is the game I'm thinking of, if you died in battle in that game and you didn't hit the eject button fast enough to get your pilot out and you blew up inside the thing, it would delete your save file because your pilot was canonically dead.
Oh my God.
I think it was that game.
Did you ever get to do any of the mech pods when they were at MagFest?
Yeah. So I played that. I actually played Steel Battalion there, and the
really?
Yeah. And do you mean the Gundam ones?
Yeah, there were these like pods they had in one of the convention halls.
Yeah.
I love those. And like I feel like the mech genre is like people love it, and they just don't really make very many mech games. Wasn't there one that just came out? What's the new Armored Core?
Yeah, Armored Core 6. That's on my list to play too. But like we're talking about like how do you play this? I wonder if you could do it. So the Switch 2 controllers have like mouse functionality now. So I wonder if it's like you put the two Joy-Cons down and it's like when you push them together, it does the guard. You push them apart, or like you slide one up and one down and you're turning. I wonder if that's a possible functionality.
It's because there's also it was so funny. The whole reason I found that Discord at all is because the guy who runs it, was it Get Good Joe, had like some of the only Steambot Chronicles YouTube videos for the longest time.
Yeah.
There's a back part for the Traumabiles that's just called explosive.
Yes.
I never knew what it did. And apparently if you like hold the joysticks in and then you have to press a button, it opens up.
Yeah.
And you can shoot explosives out of it.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's never explained.
Not even once
in this game.
I had a really cool moment with those, and thanks to Get Good Joe for that video and you bringing that up in your panel, I was like, oh my God, that's so sick. I had a really cool moment where I actually utilized that to some degree of success.
It actually worked?
Yes, because this is pretty much the only place where I can see this really working. I used it in the battleship battle. So I just boosted into all of the troops and just like...
Oh, that's so
just
good.
Like...
I know, that's great.
Pooped the bombs out everywhere, and they were all just like struggling to not hit them. Blew up a ton of them. I think I ended up dying, though, on that in that fight.
It was worth it.
But it was so worth it. It was so cool. I love one of my favorite. What is it called? It not Owada. Something. It's something circus. Okura Circus. It's named after an animator. I think one of the Gundam animators. It's basically that trope when you see any robot character just shoot like a million missiles out, and it's just like spinning and flying around. And I love that type of thing. And that was, I think, as close as we could get to it in Steambot Chronicles. And it was...
You got to get the Gatling gun. The Gatling gun is stupid. It's so I just remember there are just so many like ridiculous things that are actually like the whip. The whip, I think, is like the strongest range, like, because it's not a ranged weapon. It's counted as like a mid-range weapon because that's what that's what the spiked ball is.
Right.
But it's like, I think you take a spiked ball and silk to a guy in the Desert Hornet hideout, and he makes it into a whip. Yeah, and the whip is like incredible. But there's so many things that you're just like, I would never in a million years think about this.
I feel like I don't know if anyone except maybe Kazayabe, or no, Kazayabe is the guy who made Boku no Natsuyasumi, the director of Steambot Chronicles. I think nobody, nobody but him, I think, has any idea.
Knows everything.
Everything, yeah. Every guide is incomplete.
Agree. I 100% think so. And I mean, it's all like, I think we had talked before, is like there's so many interesting places that are just empty. And I'm like, it doesn't make any sense. There's a park next to Happy Garland that has no people in it. It's a load, like you have to load in to get there, and there's nothing there.
Weird.
There's a graveyard right outside of Happy Garland before you go up to Eurydica, and that has no people, but I think there's like important character graves there. So
weird.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's gonna be a when you talk to him, or indirectly through the translator, you'll have to ask him for me, like, is there anything like what's something about this game that no one has even found yet?
Oh, 100%. I have so many questions.
I'm sure.
I'm so excited. I really like you said, I mean, it's like no matter what happens, being able to talk to him about it would be incredible.
Right.
I mean, because there's just so much that I don't think anybody's heard anything from him about Steambot Chronicles for years.
Yeah,
so.
And if I were him, creating this game that clearly is so lovingly crafted and so deep and rich and full of intention, I would want people to ask me about it. You know?
Yeah.
Like, so I'd probably be like, hell yeah.
He keeps talking about it. He like very clearly loves it to death.
Yeah.
And it's also what like what I would love is I'd love to be able to talk to him and be like, what did you want to do that you weren't able to? Because we probably can now,
right?
You know?
Oh,
like,
I know.
I mean, there's so much. I mean, I'd love to like see what we can do with the flying. I mean, it's just
totally.
there are so many mechanics in the game that I'm like, clearly you got to the very end, and then it was just like, well, is what we got.
Yeah. What do we want to put in this graveyard? What are we putting here? Yeah. Well,
it still amazes me that there's only one reported bug in the entire game. It's
really?
Just like been a problem. Yeah. It's extremely specific. If you finish any other dungeon except for the one at the desert first, you can soft lock yourself out of the museum quest line.
Oh no. What?
Which is really awful.
Bizarre.
It's really awful.
Especially after doing all that work.
Yep, exactly. And you won't know until the very end. So.
Yeah. Oh no. Surprise.
Yeah.
Surprise, your save file is gone. Well, you could reload, I guess.
Well, it depends how far back you go, because it's like picking up any treasures in the other ruins can fills a slot of an item that you don't actually have. So the game will never spawn it ever again.
Oh my god. No.
Fun times.
We love to see it. Well, yeah,
You should definitely play the epilogue. I'm excited to hear about you going through that.
I know. After talking about it again, I'm like, I gotta go back in and see.
It's not super long. Like, honestly, like they're like, go talk to this person, and they tell you basically where everybody is.
Yeah. So speaking of the ending, like one of the other things I wanted to say without saying specifics, was like, I find it so weird that, and maybe I'm curious to see how you feel about it. I actually didn't like that you don't. I almost wish that if you hadn't found the newspaper clipping, that it was a completely different ending. Like, I feel like it should reward you with the true ending, the really sad ending, granted, but like the true ending, which lets you into the motivations of all of the characters. I feel like that should be a reward for figuring out what's going on, and not just like thrown on at the end, regardless of whether you figure it out or not. Because a lot of the times, like for me, I was like, yeah, I found the newspaper clipping, but like I didn't do a lot of the extra stuff to really put that together. And so when everything happens at the end, it just kind of feels like, wait, what? What
did you do the whole thing where you went and spoke to the pastor and the station master and
no?
Okay. So after you find the newspaper clipping, it's like the last quote in the newspaper is from the station master, and then Vanilla like thinks the station master, and so you're supposed to go over to the Happy Garland train station, talk to him about it, and he says you should go talk to the pastor about what's going on, and then the pastor, it opens up a text box where you have to answer who you think is the person that died in front of the train station.
Right.
And what I think, and because I 100% agree with you, I don't think that that's all of it. I think that there's something more that is just no one's just stumbled on it, because why would you? Because it doesn't make any sense, right? Like, you find out who the characters are if you do all of this, and you understand why they're doing the things they do.
Yeah.
I think there has to be more that is just, I don't even know.
I know, the game is just too
Wouldn't
deep
that be so
rich.
funny? I end up talking to him, and he's like, there's a whole different ending that nobody's ever experienced.
There's like the weird UFO dog alien ending from Silent Hill 2 just somewhere in this game, like something to that effect, where it's like, yeah, I kind of wish, like, I don't know, if you played...
There's also no resolution if you do the evil ending.
Yeah.
You don't, like, all the stuff that you get revealed in the good ending, you don't get any of it. You get none of it.
I know. So it's like, what? There's something missing there, and I don't know if we should have gotten any semblance of the ending. Like, if you just had a cozy playthrough and you're just like, whatever, I'm just doing my little Ghibli mech thing, I feel like they should just part ways, and like you get like a neutral ending. You know, I feel like that would have been cool. And then to find out, like, oh, well, but if you find out what's really going on, it's kind of like Nier. Have you played the Nier games?
Yes.
Oh my God, I'm obsessed with those games. That's another one that's like, they're popular enough that it's definitely...
People have played them, yeah.
People have played them, but like, to play them and get all the endings, like the true ending of each of them, like Replicant and Automata, will change everything. Like, oh my God, like I want something like that again, where it's like you could have a cozy playthrough, you can stop at the first ending of Nier Automata and be like, okay, that was good. And I think a lot of people probably did, because they saw credits and were like, oh, I liked that, moving on. But no, you got to play again, you get it from another character's point of view, and then you play the third time, and then it continues, and there's a whole nother second half of the game that's like, what? Like,
I don't know, it's such a shame, because it is such a sad game. Like, it truly, it doesn't really, I don't think it really became very obvious to me until the end how tragic it all is, and like the epilogue just kind of drives the nail home. Like, one of the main characters is like living under a bridge, and that's like a whole, it's a lot, and it's also, there's stuff where you also, like, you can, in a sense, like, not make the most horrible things happen. Like, one of the things that I always remember is there's in the dock town, New Haven, I think is what it's called. I haven't played in a while, but there's a warehouse in there, and there's a prostitute in the back, and she says, come back when you're older. And if you go back in the epilogue, which is a year later, she says, oh, you came back, here you go. And she gives you the schematics for an automated loom. It's
Oh,
like,
cool.
and she's like, yeah, a sailor left these here. You can have them. You can take those all the way to the Hayabusa carpet mill at the beginning of the game,
Yeah.
and that then triggers this whole thing where he completely automates the weaving mills and fires all of the silkworm tenders, and like it's this super sad scene where they all have to like,
They
well,
leave.
our livelihood's gone. Guess we have to split up now.
Yeah.
And all these, and like these three women who like work together their whole lives just like go off different places.
I think you were telling
And,
me
like,
about that in the first time we talked, and it was like they go to
other places,
other towns and stuff to like to find work because they would, you know.
So if you put the newspaper hiring ad out from Eurydica from the mine, one of them ends up going there and ends up being the like chef for all the miners.
Oh, that's funny.
So like there is, I don't know, they find a place to go, but like I remembered it's like, wow, you could really like mess up this world, but like the stock prices soar. It's
Yeah.
real like Hayabusa is worth like nothing the whole game, but it's pretty great when you automate everything.
Yeah, that's so funny. Just ruin the entire economy.
Yep.
I'm trying to get rid of this spam message in the chat. I banned
Oh, it
them.
was the worst. I always hated dealing with those.
I know. I get one like pretty much every stream. It's all right.
I actually, all of this to say that there's also something that I've never done in the game, and I honestly don't know if I will, because
The $1 million
you have
thing?
to do. No, that I'm quite confident one day I will do. There is deathmatch mode, which I don't know if you've ever seen that in Steambot Chronicles.
No.
It's in the main menu. You can play billiards and deathmatch mode outside of the main game.
Okay.
Deathmatch mode has 32 bosses from the game, and you unlock them in deathmatch mode by doing all the by unlocking fighting them throughout the game. This requires you to do a lot, because there's things like marjoram and basil who you don't end up fighting unless you're evil,
Right.
so you have to have an evil playthrough where you get them. But the worst one is, do you know who the very last one is? The very last boss? It's not a spoiler.
Oh, okay. Then no.
It's Connie.
Right, because you fight on the beach again.
Yep.
Yeah.
But that's a choice. If you don't choose to fight her on the beach, you don't get to. You have to play the game again.
Oh
or
my
reload
god.
A save or whatever. Yeah.
So you have to experience it in the single player for it to populate in the
Deathmatch mode. Yeah.
Oh my god.
And then what it is in deathmatch mode, you have to beat all 32 bosses in order without a break. And if you do it, you get the deathmatch grill, which is a skull.
God. So it's a boss rush of the entire game.
Every single boss you fight in the
without
game.
healing?
Every single one. Nope, no healing. You just go all the way through it.
Jeez, I wish Wub was in the chat.
You might heal. I don't know. That might be impossible. I haven't done it because you have to unlock everybody.
Yeah.
And I haven't unlocked everybody.
God. I did. I'm thinking of the bosses now. I really liked the one in the lake. That one was cool.
Infinite Undiscovery or whatever it is. The submarine. Oh my god, that thing. That one's great.
It felt like it felt like a Shadow of the Colossus boss fight.
There's there's so many. There's like I said, there's like there's like evil specific ones.
Right.
Oh man, there's a Dr. Nutmeg. He has a Trotmobile that is the lab. And that's one of the bosses.
That's awesome.
And it's just like there's like people that it's like, and it's not even that like, oh, this is a major plot point in the game. It's just you don't run into them unless you're playing the evil playthrough.
Right. So you have to do everything in both playthroughs to get oh my god.
You want to do deathmatch mode. Yeah. Also, I don't have all the license plates. I've never done that either.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's just like it's because there's a license plate for finishing the museum, and I've never done that.
Yeah.
It's so long.
It's absurd. I made a custom one. I made the little my X logo, like the experience point logo.
I love that you can do that. The custom license plates,
so cool.
So good.
It took me. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say it reminded me of Animal Crossing, like going in and doing the custom patterns.
Yeah.
And, like, I did that so much on the GameCube one. I did that so much in
Same,
the
to like do all the outfits and costumes and stuff.
Yeah, I did it a ton in New Horizons. Yeah, and stuff like that would like if you remade this game, you could add. I mean, in theory, you could add like some kind of online functionality, kind of like Armored Core, where people could upload their designs for things,
cool
or
that would be.
Their color schemes,
so much.
their license plate, their custom license plates, like even being able to just play online. Like it's got that, the competitive multiplayer from the PSP one. If you could implement something like that, like the arena.
It's in the PS2.
Oh, is it?
The arena's in the PS2, and yeah, it has local multiplayer.
Oh, I didn't think it did. Yeah, like getting able.
Why would you ever think it would? They never tell you.
Right, it'll tell you anything.
So yeah,
online functionality of being able to just like put a little mech together and battle it with your friends, like, or even like maybe you can trade parts. Who knows?
It's really crazy because I didn't even realize that you can actually access the color wheel. Like you're not just restricted to the colors on the mech. There's a whole color wheel where you can change everything on it.
Yeah, that's how I got it because I designed everything. Like I designed the brand for the experience point. I know the hex codes for my brand colors, so I just actually made my mech the navy kind of blue, this indigo color that you see in the background here. I made it that so exact color, and this very light gray. It looks like white, but it's actually a very light gray as the accents. And then I had the logo and the license plate. And I was like, oh my god, I have a branded mech.
It's so good. It's something that I feel like that's something that would not be impossible to do. And it would just encourage people to make their own stuff because there's so many combinations of things.
Yeah.
I actually, speaking of combinations, I have to ask if you remember any of them. What was the best nickname you got?
Oh my god. So the one that I got a lot because I neglected my health, my food, was I got Starving Centaur a lot.
Yeah, I got Starving Centaur a lot too.
Yeah. I got I think because I used the Trident a lot, I would get something Poseidon. I would get like ridiculous Poseidon or like there was one. My very first one I got was really rude, and I can't remember what it was. It was something like, I don't remember. Like whispering. I don't remember. I wish I could. I have to go back and look at my playthrough because it was, God, probably 6 months ago at this point when I started. But yeah, there's a lot of good ones. Starving Centaur is probably the one that comes to mind the most because I think I got that most often.
I just can't. I had found a list because there obviously isn't a complete list of all the nicknames.
Yeah.
And it's like there are so many things I'm like, I have never seen any of these. Like there's well known is a prefix.
Yeah.
And you get that from finishing every single photo album.
Oh my god.
Also something I've never even come close to doing.
That's too many.
I think somebody in the Discord said they got one that was half naked kid.
Oh my god.
Oh my god,
that's the favorite of the Catholic Church.
Yep. Oh my god. There's just so many wild combinations. There's all I don't remember what it is, but if you go to Seagull Beach in the morning, you can find sea turtle eggs, and if you eat them, they change your nickname.
Oh my god. Why would you eat that?
I don't know. Because I'm looking at the list and I'm like, I don't know what would cause it. Like oat sowing. I don't know what oat sowing could possibly come from.
Isn't that like a euphemism for getting it down, getting it on?
Well, it's really funny because the one above it is true playa.
Oh my god!
Which comes from you have to romance all the three love interests in the same day.
Oh wow, same day. That's so funny.
You have to hop on the train.
Oh yeah, because you can't. The time passes.
Yep.
Wow, that is some serious playa shit right there. This reminds me, and the Sea Turtles thing reminded me. So I work. This is kind of a downer, but I work in a cancer center now. I forget. No, I wouldn't have started that job yet when we first started talking. I'm still doing the design stuff as freelance, but this economy.
I know.
I need something consistent and with benefits and stuff. So I work at a cancer center, and so we had to learn about all these different it's connected to all of our the hospitals and stuff in the same system. So we had to learn about like different diagnosis codes, and some of the diagnosis codes were so funny. Like I could not stop laughing. Like in this like very serious training where we're talking about like people dying and stuff, and I'm looking and I'm seeing like there's a code for crushed by alligator. Or like
it must have happened to somebody.
It had to have. Like there's like crushed by alligator, like struck by flying porcupine. I'm like, what the hell? What Looney Tunes character is coming in with like, I'm imagining somebody with like a porcupine stuck to their head, like, get this thing off of me. I'm like, well, we gotta. It's that's an R341 classic, struck by flying porcupine.
Yeah, happens all the time.
I don't know why, but crushed by alligator is the funniest one to me. Like, it didn't maul you, it just crushed you. Like it fell on you. At what circumstance? I almost don't want to know.
That's so funny.
Oh, yeah. So, oh my God, you could also add a bunch of your own nicknames. Like the sky's the limit. If you get into the code and you remake this, you could put in some like hilarious like
this is the real dream is like I need to ask him, do you have the nickname list?
Yes. Oh my God. Release the nickname list.
Yeah. Exactly. I know all the ridiculous things I could possibly be.
Oh my God.
I remember one time I was playing it and I was going through the desert and I had the desert clothes on and I got it was Ethnic Destroyer.
Oh my God!
Picture of it, and I was like, "What is this?"
No,
because it's like it gives you it. I think the prefix is ethnic if you sleep with the desert clothes, and you get destroyer if you destroy 10 or more Trotmobiles in a day. So I was just like, oh, it's not really a good nickname. I don't really want people to call me that.
We started the equivalent of the clan in Steambot Chronicles. Jesus. Ethnic Destroyer. Oh my God.
You can also get terrorist. You can get if you blow up the bus. So in the very beginning of the game, there's the bus driver at the carpet mill.
Yeah.
You can pick up his bus and just throw it against the wall and destroy it.
Right. I did that because I remember you telling me to.
Yeah, and it gives you the terrorist nickname.
Oh, that's so funny. I don't think I got the nickname for it, but I remember doing that and being like, was something supposed to happen?
So funny.
Oh, that's great.
Man. Well, I hope I can remake it. I hope that we can make this all happen, and I'm doing my best to be hopeful.
Yeah, I think you will. Like I said, if nothing else comes from it, like it's a great experience. You're making great connections. You're getting to in some way work towards work with, even if you're not in an official capacity, you're getting to talk to really cool people in the industry. You're probably going to get to talk to the creator of your favorite game of all time, which many
is just incredible
people get to say that,
but and that I think that was out of all the stuff on that Reddit post, what I think stuck with me the most was that all the questions of like, why would you bother? This isn't going to make you a lot of money. And someone's comment was, I don't know, man. Maybe it's just cool to get to work on your favorite video game.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't see why that's such a it's a dream.
Seriously.
I don't see why.
I
don't know.
If I could work on like an Oddworld game or Phantom Dust sequel remake, I would work for free. Like, of course,
the number of people who messaged me and said, I will work for free if you start working on Steambot Chronicles. Like it is like, it's just something that like people want to make things.
Yeah. And especially things that they have. And that's why the Final Fantasy remake is so good. Things like that. Because the kids who grew up playing it are now in game dev and game design, and they're making it. So like, I can only imagine the level of love and dedication that somebody like you would put into something like this, and so it's only going to be a net positive for everyone involved.
I have to tell you, it absolutely terrifies me because like let's just say that this like moves forward, right? How much source code do we really think still exists for Steambot Chronicles?
God. I mean,
like the absolute dream is that there's just a USB sitting somewhere, but like we're probably gonna have to remodel like everything. Yeah, everything's gonna have to be remade
after the tsunami. You know, they lost.
I just really hope.
Of it.
I hope they have the audio. I hope that somebody has copies of the audio because you can't really replicate. I think they're both alive, both the Japanese and the English voice actress for Connie.
Yeah.
But I don't but all that music, you know, they would have the original copies of it.
Yeah. I wonder if there's ways to because there's software and stuff that can break apart songs and stuff to do remixes, or I wonder if you could isolate each instrument, maybe clean it up. I have no idea what that process even looks like.
People have tried to decompile Steambot Chronicles. I don't remember what's wrong with it. But there's something in there that stops people from accessing the individual files, because you could just open up Steambot Chronicles and take all the song files out of it.
Yeah.
You should, in theory, be able to do that. But people haven't been able to get into it to be able to. So that's why it's all the YouTube videos that have the music all sound weird.
Yeah.
Because they're not the original copies.
Right. Well, if you need voice actors, I can come on and say, be a bad guy if you want. Steambot Chronicles. A relaxing, non-linear adventure.
That was, oh god, I would I remember I fell asleep one time and I came back and it's still going.
Yeah.
Because once it's gone through every single character, it just starts mixing and matching them.
Yeah.
It'll be a random person's first line and then somebody else yelling Steambot Chronicles.
I found that out not the hard way, but my viewers found it out the hard way, because when I would do my starting up the stream video, I usually, if I'm playing a game, I'll go to a menu or somewhere that has music playing just to have that behind. And so I really loved that guitar, the little strumming of the guitar, but I didn't realize that they were all talking the entire time. So people were sitting there probably just Steambot Chronicles, Steambot Chronicles.
Yep.
It's just oh my god, what am I putting them through?
That's beautiful.
There's something is it Super Smash Brothers? One of the Super Smash Brothers, if you let the main menu music go on so long, it gets, oh my god, what is it?
I think that is Smash Brothers.
It gets, I think you're right, super loud or something, and it can blow out your speakers if you let it go for 200 hours or something. Something about the way that the song is layered. I'll have to actually look that up.
Funny.
But anyway, keep us in the loop, and I'm happy to have you on again if you have a cool update that you want to share. But I loved it. I mean, if it wasn't evident, I loved my playthrough of it, and I can't thank you enough for running that panel, that one random MagFest, because it literally,
the fact that you played through it made it all worthwhile. I got somebody to play Steambot Chronicles.
Yes. So. Yeah, I that may have been my favorite part of that entire con, because I came back and I was part of the reason my girlfriend bought it for me was because I did not shut up about it. I was oh my god, wait, there's a whole, it's crazy. He was saying there's she came with me, so she knows. But I was oh my god, yeah, there's a whole railroad system and the painting, and there's a stock market, and I felt I was Pepe Sylvia. It's just I was obsessed with it before I even played it. So and that's entirely thanks to you. So.
Thank you. I'm really glad that you got to enjoy it. Need to play through the epilogue.
Yeah.
It's very important. Even if not to fight Connie, it ends the game. So
that
at least tells you all the stuff you need to know.
That is true, yeah. I have seen what can happen, but I don't know. Are there choices that you can make within the epilogue, or is it pretty...
Yeah, there's a lot of random stuff, because you can find all the people from the Bloody Mantis. They're all all still around, and you can impact what happens to them.
Damn.
My favorite is one of them is in prison. One of them is literally just sitting in prison underneath Happy Garland.
Nice.
And they're hey, remember me? remember me? Don't you want to set me free? And you can just say no.
No, rot in here.
Yeah.
And then it starts his oblivion. Then there's a dark elf who's like, well.
You're going to die.
You're going to die.
Yeah, exactly.
Bringing it all back.
There's
to
just
oblivion.
a lot of things that are like they're not like it's like there's of course the main characters, and like you go through and you talk to like Connie's mom and Fennel and Marjoram and Basil and Connie and all these people, but like there's all the other like yes, all the random characters also had stuff that happened to them, but all of the named ones like all end up going and doing something, and a lot of like some of them even give you things.
Nice.
Like I think like if you find like some of the Bloody Mantis people, that's how you can buy all the stuff you couldn't get in the villain playthrough.
Oh, okay. That's cool that they at least give that to you in some way.
Yeah, it's funny. You can obtain the bad guy stuff if you're a good guy, but you can't obtain the good guy stuff if you're a bad guy.
What a life lesson.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, sir. Well, I think I will let you
you
go. And thanks for coming on to chat. And anything you want to plug or shout out or?
No, I mean just keep an eye out for it, please. Like the Steambot Chronicles will be in the news again for something.
Yeah.
Just when it actually happens, please support it.
All right, will do. I will not shut up about it. I still have not really shut up about it, so I will be one of those insufferable people because good. I'm just like that. So, all right. Well, have a good one. I will say what I always say when I sign off, which is thank you, guys, gals, and non-binary pals. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Go to therapy. And I always end with some kind of recommendation, but I always have to. There's only one thing I can say at the end of this one, which is play Steambot Chronicles. It's a relaxing, non-linear adventure. All right. Good night.
Have a good night.